What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
another day at the Affleck to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at mmercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
And here we go.
Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to the Good Brothers. We are in mourning today, Mike. Mike, say hi to the folks.
Hi, folks.
Yeah, it's a sad day here. Not because Ben Affleck is no longer Batman, but because Mike was right.
Yeah.
We were on such a good streak of you being wrong. Mike, how's it going?
Everything is cold, Alex. It is a cold time here in the Midwest in
I
Chicago.
was born in the cold.
Yeah, I was raised in Derry, bitch. But yeah, like the Good Brothers said, word has dropped officially. It's been a rumor for a long time, but as we are recording this episode of the Good Brothers, Ben Affleck is out as Batman, and we will have a new Batman movie in summer 2021. Hobbs and Shaw gives us a brand new poster, and a trailer will come out later on this week. Birds of Prey, Super Pets, DC all over the news, guys. The Super Bowl finally happens this Sunday. I've been playing Resident Evil 2. It's cold outside. And the Screen Actors Guild Awards happen. The Good Brother has watched a lot of movies that are in considerations for the Academy Awards. So before we get into the Good Brothers thoughts, let the folks know where they can interact with us. And when we get back, the Oscars take full front because the Screen Actors Guild told us why Black Panther might be a real contender this February.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at mmercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the Affleck to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. All right, good brother. So you saw Sir, the man, the myth, the legend, Christian Bale, one of the favorites for the Academy Awards in Vice. What did you think about our guy, our Batman? This year, and what are his chances?
I'll give you a quick rundown because Vice was one of the only ones I haven't seen. Now I just have to see The Favorite, and I've seen all the Oscar noms. It's hard because they tell you from the beginning. It's done. Adam McKay does a good job. It's kind of a humor movie where it's, they're like, we don't know a lot about this man because this man doesn't put a lot out there. So they split the movie into a half where this is what we know and this is what we've heard.
That's funny.
So kind of pre-Bush. We're like, okay, this is all facts. Like, he was in the open, this happened. You're kind of starting to see what he's at, where he comes from. And then you get the second half where they're like, and they have fun with the movie. Like, the way they make it is very interesting. Like, for an Oscar movie, like, they do a mid-credit scene, and they play it off like if he hadn't been called by Bush, like, he was living a normal life, and he was retired, and his wife was an author, and like they were just living life before Bush called and made him VP.
Wasn't he also though the CEO of a weapons manufacturer?
Oil. No, it was oil, and like really, it was more of a name position just for money. Like, it's amazing how they sell you the fact like he was kind of just done. Like, they were just done. Like, it was they were old. Their kids were, graduated, and a big reason he didn't run for president is because he had a lesbian daughter, and he didn't want to go against gay culture at the time.
Oh, wow.
Which they take a big turn at the end with his other daughter, who is a senator in, I think, Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
And she did sign the against gay marriage.
Really?
So that's how much he turns. Like, it really does take a turn where you're like, he's kind of just there to like, okay, he's a monster. I'll be honest, because I think the biggest thing is Christian Bale. I think seeing both movies now, I think Rami Malek winning the SGAs, I think he's going to win. Because I'll be honest, my favorite part of the movie, Steve Carell.
Okay.
Bush, Sam Rockwell should not have been nominated. He was in the movie for 5 minutes. Too. I told you that from day one, and now that I've seen it, it should have been Steve Carell.
Fair enough.
And 2, Amy Adams carries this movie.
Okay.
They really sell her as the devil behind the devil. Like, every strong man, there's a stronger woman. They sell you that. Like, she's the one that I'm watching, and I'm like, she's evil.
Okay.
And he's just kind of an idiot following her. And that's the way the movie came across to me. It's like, she's the evil one. Like, if it wasn't for her pushing him, he wouldn't have done half this shit.
Is she in the main, or she is supporting?
She's supporting.
So she's up against... Who's she up against?
Regina King.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And if you guys
Emma Stone.
And in case you guys are confused or listen to it and don't want to go through all the websites and everything, go back in our archives. We did a post-Oscar nominations episode, and we went through all the major categories. So if you want to listen to who's been nominated for
Our
where
early
we're
picks,
at,
yeah.
and some early picks, and Alex and I will break it down. We both did really good, actually, a few days ago with the Royal Rumble NXT, and we killed it last year with the Oscar pick, so stay tuned for that if you want to make a couple of Cashula bucks in your picks. But Alex, going back to Vice really fast, and you were talking about Amy Adams stealing the show.
She's great. She's amazing.
I got a couple of hitting points that I want to hit on for everybody. So why don't we start at this? We can do quick answers on this one, okay?
Yeah.
Out of 10, how many Constitutions are you giving it?
8.5.
That's
It deserves its noms. It deserved the noms it got.
Next question.
Very creative. I think directing is the best part of the movie.
Okay.
Second by Amy Adams.
Okay.
Third by Steve Carell, and then Christian Bale. Christian Bale, to me, like, he was fine, and like he really does get into the role, and it's great. But I feel like Amy Adams, Steve Carell really did a solid job, and the movie's all about the way it's directed. And I thought Adam McKay did a fantastic job because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, it gives you a really more fun sense of this evilness.
Okay.
And I love the way it's edited. You know, like, I just like it worked for me. Like, I was worried it was gonna be boring, and it was 2 hours 10 minutes. I was like, no, it was an easy watch.
Has it changed your mind on where it would land for Best Picture?
A little bit. I think it's up there. I think Vice might be one of those movies that
Could it take
talks
votes?
about something. It could take votes.
Okay.
I think after seeing it now, and I've seen them all, I think Roma really has a strong chance to win Best Movie and Best thing.
We've been on there.
I think, I hope, like, I think the biggest one coming up next is Green Book.
Yeah.
I think Green Book's really the only one to do it because I think the Star Wars Born is done. They're going to win song, and that's it. And that's fine.
And Lady
First
Gaga.
year. No, I actually think it's going to go to Glenn.
Close.
Yeah, I think they're going to be like, listen, Gaga can get it for Shallow, but realistically, acting-wise, Glenn Close really was the better actress.
We'll talk about that as we get closer.
But I think that's where my pick's going right now.
So next one is, you already kind of said you think Rami Malek is going to come out with.
I think after seeing it,
Freddie
dude,
Mercury.
he carries the movie almost single-handedly.
Will it be disrespectful if Christian Bale wins?
No, just because
Okay.
of the transformation.
Okay.
But I just feel bad because I think Amy Adams deserves it more.
Is
And
it-
I feel bad Steve Carell didn't get nominated because Sam Rockwell does nothing in this movie.
That's interesting.
And he plays a mediocre Bush at best. Like, Bush has been done better.
And finally, is it better, equal to, or worse than The Big Short?
I like it a little better because it's a more singular story and it's a little shorter.
Okay.
Big Short's a big movie. And they're both great. I'm talking about, like, A's and A pluses or A's and A minuses. Like, I don't really love political movies sometimes like this. I'm more of a war political movie because I think they're like
All the
Zero
President's
Dark
Men.
30. Like, I love Zero and, like, all
But you
those
do like the
movies.
slow movies. You like All the President's Men.
No, I
you
like
do
all. I do
This
like.
Great
I'm
Night.
just saying, like,
Yeah.
they're not my all-time favorite.
Sure.
Like, they got to be really good. And this was good. Like, I like this better than The Post. I think this did a better
Okay.
job balancing a story like it.
Did you like it better than
I like
Winston
Adam
Churchill?
McKay. I like Adam McKay. Yes, I did because it's more fun. There are parts where you're like, that's messed up, but that's like SNL messed up. Like, it's funny.
So Gary Oldman or Christian Bale?
Gary
As in-
Oldman. Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Gary Oldman carries that movie. Amy Adams and Steve Carell carry this movie.
Okay.
With directing. Like, Gary Oldman was the only part I liked about that movie.
Okay.
Because I thought it was a little boring.
So, any final thoughts as we move forward? The Good Brother and I will actually be breaking down on our very special Oscar prediction show the week
can't
of
wait.
the Academy Awards. But kind of a last summary, at least right now, putting to bed Vice moving forward.
I think this year, different than last year, is like these movies are actually all very fun. Like, I think last year you get some movies that are very Oscar bait movies. Not saying that these aren't, but I think these are
Sure.
different. Like, this wasn't a normal biopic. This was fun. It's very surprising. Like, it's very out there.
I mean, think about
and
it.
I think beside Roma, which it's a technical great movie, all the movies are very fun. Like it's like Black Klansman
Well,
almost.
compared to last year with Lady Bird, Three Billboards, you had
Like Three
obviously
Billboards,
Shape
like it's a
of
very
Water.
straight movie
Yeah.
of like where they want to go with it, and it was a good movie.
Yeah.
These movies are just
Phantom
more.
Thread.
It's crazy. Like again, Phantom Thread, very straight out movie. Even the year before, La La Land and Moonlight, straight singular. The way they're telling their story. But this year, you have Black Klansman's out there, a comic book movie. You have, Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, you have these movies that are actually very fun. And I think that's what's making it hard. Because you're like, well, Green Book's really one of the only two that's like very just straight movie.
Traditional Oscar.
And then you have these other ones, like, where are they leading to? And you got to think, that's why I think Green Book and Roma are the leaders. And maybe Bohemian Rhapsody could sneak in.
I wonder how much of a lock Green Book and or Roma would have been a year before, a year after.
It's hard because with Oscar predictions, like, you always want to go in thinking you're hip and everything. at the end of the day, half the movies that make you're like, man, I didn't even think about that one, but okay, I
We were
can
on a few
sell
of them,
it.
though.
Like Roma, we knew Roma because of the hype it got.
I
Black
told-
Klansman, we hoped.
And I called Black Panther in February. I'm
Yeah.
like, they already saved that one for that.
You know, there was a lot, and like you had to think of the movies that we thought, like Welcome to Tomorrowland First Man,
Yeah, like so many, yeah.
You Were Never Really Here.
Yeah,
Thank you for like there was a lot of movies that just got an actor nom that were like, man, I can't believe like Mary Queen of Scots, like you know, Quiet Place, Mary Poppins, like a lot of movies we thought would have done more, and obviously there was your obvious one that you said, you know, Star is Born, we knew that was gonna get it. I think now the surprise was, did we think it was gonna? We thought that was the favorite. Like, we thought that was the La La Land where they'd at least win, like, 4 awards. Now you're like, well, they're probably going to win Shallow. That's a lock.
Yeah.
Gaga's going to get her sweep, which, you know, the whole Tony, Oscar, Grammy, and Emmy. So she'll be on that list with John Legend. And I believe, I forget who else, but, like, that very
John
distinguished
Legend's
list.
The most recent one.
Yes, so she's going to join that list when she gets it because she's on that. You know, it's fascinating. It's going to be an interesting year, especially with no host either.
Yeah, I know. But as we move forward, though, we'll definitely keep our eye on where the momentum goes for Vice and A Star is Born and all these other movies in the Academy Award. But Alex, the Screen Actor Guild did give us some awards, and I just want to touch on it that we are finally getting into that season.
These are similar voters
We're starting
now.
to
We're
see
getting
where
to
we're at.
matching
Yeah.
votes.
So moving to a movie that will not have any Oscar love in Hobbs and Shaw. I only want to talk about this. Obviously, Idris Elba. You have Jason Statham and The Rock. But what's really cool is Roman Reigns, Joe Anoa'i, who is right now battling leukemia, former WWE Universal Champion, won all the major championships.
Georgia Tech football player.
Yeah, a super awesome dude. He will be in this movie. Awesome scene about basically, essentially Samoa, the islands of Samoa are getting taken over.
Yeah,
and,
super crazy stuff. And I think it's important not just because of this movie, but the actors and the trailer's dropping Friday, and we're also going to get a Super Bowl one. Yeah. And it's also interesting because The Rock has announced that he's not going to be in Fast and Furious 9. So he's taking his own story. They're basically saying, okay, you two can't stop fighting. Ben, you're taking these movies, which, let's be honest, are on their way out.
Yeah.
And he's like, Rock, you're going to take your own movies with Jason Statham, which is like 2 of the best modern parts. Like, he got the best parts. Whoa. And even Gal Gadot now is like, oh, well, we're also going to make a girls one. So they're really kind of saying, okay, we're going to end Fast and Furious probably at 9 or 10. Rock, you're going to do your thing because you Rocky, maybe Bad Boys style. And then we're going to give the women something because women are hot right now. Women are funny, might get over it.
I'm okay with it. I didn't mind the Ghostbusters movie.
I liked Ghostbusters.
And speaking, Alex kind of teased it unintentionally. Bad Boys gave us our first picture. Yeah, with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
God, Will Smith is killing Instagram, man. I can't believe we ever lived in a life where Will Smith wasn't on Instagram.
So super excited about that. And really fast, before we get into the major news in the DC world, we did get a preview tease of Birds of Prey by, I can't think of Harley Quinn's name. Margot Robbie. I kept wanting to say Robbie Gold. I have
Mary Queen of Scots. Up for an Oscar.
And then, obviously, with Super Pet. So, essentially, what I want to get into is the reports have been
DC went ham on some news.
Yeah, and essentially, we found out that the Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad 2, Batman, Super Pets are all on the agenda.
They're on the fast forward.
So let's get into the major news.
And a Batman Beyond animated movie.
Isn't it talked, especially since Spider-Man versus they are making?
No, but like I know they're making one, but it's it's for the DC. It's not. Sorry, it's not a motion picture, but you and me like the movies.
No,
they're the straight to DVD, HBOs. Yeah, they're one of those. But they're talking about it. So now, because guess what happened with that story is I like talking about it because Suicide Squad did the same thing. And because of the success of the cartoon animated movie that they put for DC Universe, they put the movie out. So I think this is one of those like, hey, if we get a good reaction to Batman Beyond the animated, like we did for Killing Joke hype, and maybe do a little release, we can make a live action. Like that's how they sell these things in DC. Like there's a pattern to it.
Right, and we'll see how the network goes too, because we are seeing a lot of stuff.
Got a season 2.
We saw Brendan Fraser in Doom Patrol, which is
Doom Patrol is so interesting.
I want to
see that. If it gets good reviews, I'll watch. But it could be in the humans.
So what we do know is Matt Reeves is still writing, directing, all that fun stuff. About wrote and direct the last 2 Planet of the Apes movies. It will be coming out summer 2021, and we do know officially Ben Affleck will not be back as
official.
Batman.
I must say it. We cannot fight it. Henry Cavill is Superman. People as of now. But yes, like Mike's first man picks, I have to eat this one. He has graciously, very graciously, because he is our Batman, stepped down And if he makes a cameo, I'm technically right, though.
Sure.
But we'll deal with that in 2021.
But I think now, so that's what we know. And
He's out.
Let's
He's
have a
going
little
forward.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited. Very detective
But
heavy.
people are excited. It will be based off of year one and Long Halloween.
Yeah, it's more of a detective style. They really want to go back to the roots.
But let's have a little fun because we're gonna have a long time to actually break down all the rumors and innuendo.
Probably a year. We're gonna find out. I think Comic-Con. We find out who's playing Batman because they have to start filming early next year.
People make me laugh. They're like, 2021 is so long. I'm like, not anymore.
No,
it's 2019.
let's say you 2021. What, like May?
Well, here's the problem.
Yeah, dude, that's not that long.
But here's the thing: people are dumb. If I say Alex 20 years ago, you still think 1980s. But the problem is, those 20 years ago was 2000 because it's one of those things perspective. Like 2021. Seems
not only that, but like we're in the inside, so we know how long a movie takes to make this. So you're like, no, they're gonna have to start filming probably midway next year. Pre-production needs to start
now
by the end of this year, so they need to have a Batman and a final story by Comic-Con. So Comic-Con, I think we get the announcement of who's going to be the Batman.
Yeah, it'll stop recording by next summer. They'll stop.
No, yeah, I'm telling you, I'll call now. Comic-Con, we find out who's playing Batman.
So speaking of that, let's have the fun that we won't have the rest of the time because the news is fresh. We get to discuss for the first time, Alex, who do we want to see play Batman?
Who do we want to, or who do we think is going to?
We'll have time for that as the stories start breaking. Nobody's been rumored officially.
I'll be honest, like we're gonna have fun. I personally, if I had to put money on it, it's gonna be an unknown of sorts, I think. But I got three that I would like to see.
Let's hear them. We'll do one each. We'll start with you for one.
So I'm gonna steal yours, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
I would love to see Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I think he's a little old for what they want to do, but I'm not sure because he can look younger. I'd say Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
Doesn't help that he just signed up for Dune, but that gives him just enough time, I guess.
So if you're going Oscar Isaac, I will go around with another aged face. I'll go Josh Brolin as a Batman.
Man,
as
that's
an
old.
older one. Yeah. I would go Josh Brolin to finally take the mantle that people have been rumored him to have for a long time. Thanos is Batman.
Foster from Hell or High Water.
Ben Foster.
I like Ben Foster. I think Ben Foster's got a
great
good
one.
look. I think he's nice and like he can put that weight on. Like I like Ben Foster.
Ben Foster's
I really do.
Ben Foster's
Yeah.
That's a great choice.
I like him.
How about Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Finally make the jump and
dude,
become
you're
Batman.
picking some old you're picking like the Flash movie we're gonna see.
I mean, but
they already said that they need someone in their 30s.
I mean, I'm just throwing people out there. This is a wish list.
Andrew Lincoln, shit.
Yeah, I mean, but like again, we're gonna have time.
I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan too, because I think he looks cool. And if they don't use him as an old Thomas Wayne, I'm gonna be pissed because it's perfect. I think my last pick would have to be. I like Scott Eastwood.
That's a great one.
Was that Solo, right? No, who was Solo?
Was that Solo was
Edgerton, right?
Edgerton, yeah.
One of those two. Those are my two last picks. I think Scott Eastwood, but he can't do it because he's already in the DCEU.
Who's he?
Rick Flag, I believe.
No,
he's someone.
No, he's not Rick Flag in Suicide Squad.
I'll look it up, but I like Scott Eastwood, and I like Han Solo Jr. I think they got good looks to them, and I like their tone.
I mean, I guess the easy one too is always to go to Armie Hammer because
I was going to say Armie Hammer, but he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he's been rumored to play Batman for a long time. I mean, it's kind of hard when you start thinking like, who looks like Batman? Who looks like they could pull off being the main, not only the main character in a movie, but one of the main characters in all of cinema in general. And I guess what's tweaking me out is like in the 1980s, like people didn't expect Michael Keaton to do it. I never thought Christian Bale, like if I had been in movies, the guy who would play the Machinist would have done it. But what do you got?
Okay, so Scott Eastwood was in Suicide Squad. He was Rick Flag's second hand.
Oh,
like his boy. He was his boy. Yeah.
That's
so that's totally not like we can make him Batman.
That's a promotion if you.
Yeah. Okay, that's why I got to confuse him. He's his boy in the movie. Rick Flag was obviously played by Joan Kinnaman. I don't know. I got that Joe Kinnaman. I don't know. I got that confused. Because Joe Kinnaman's pretty legit too.
I mean, it's kind of hard. I guess. Okay. There's. All right. You want three famous names that I really like? One that I would have loved to have seen that just won't happen anymore because he's in the MCU is Jake Gyllenhaal. Would have loved to.
Yeah, no, that's the first one, but he's done. Yeah, he's already in the other one.
John Hamm is a great younger.
I love John Hamm.
John Hamm is a great younger. If you're trying to stay away from like Josh Brolin and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you want to stay in that kind of look, but you want to go younger, I would go John Hamm.
He literally is a young Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yeah, and it's my fourth. As my last one, I would like to see Magneto. I would love to see Michael Fassbender. I would love to see a Michael Fassbender as type of Batman. And it's what I think of Michael Fassbender in that type of actor, like a John Hamm, is if you imagine. I imagine the Michael Keaton scene when he's kind of sitting there and then he sees the bad signal and he kind of turns to the left. There's that stoic look that Batman Bruce Wayne has.
And it works because he's not only played a superhero or villain. Dude, he's played Steve Jobs, which is very similar to how a Bruce Wayne would be. So, like, when you just said that, I'm like, I could see the way he played Steve Jobs, using a bit of that with his Magneto, like, past. Dude, that could be a really good choice. Like, that's what I didn't think about, but I like it. I do like that choice a lot.
It's a little different because it's not Marvel.
And he's like, he has a name where you're like, dude, that's solid. Like, he only gave us one of the best bad guys ever.
Now, I would be down for Idris Elba. But again, it's one of those.
We've had this conversation. It's not the time.
But even if you want to get past the fact that people are ignorant,
I don't think it's a character, dude. Like, because there is a black Batman that they can play. Kevin Smith put out a great tweet about it. Someone said that they're like, I would love to see Michael B. Jordan. He's like, I would love to see Michael Jordan play the Metal Batman. The actual African American guy that plays Batman. Like, I'm always in the extension. Like, there are plenty of Miles Morales proved. I don't need a black Peter Parker. I have a black Puerto Rican Spider-Man. I don't need both because they're both successful on their own. And we've had this debate. I'm like, I don't need a black Batman. There are black African Americans in the Batman universe that are badass, like Deadshot. Like, Deadshot works. Will Smith was great. That worked. And I don't need
but
me
Deadshot
to change.
Isn't black.
No, in some iterations he is. It's like Nick Fury. He's 50-50. But he has been written African American.
But if you're telling me the only way I could get Michael B. Jordan, for example, in a movie like that is to have him play Bruce Wayne, I'd be okay with it. It's not a and or type of thing. Like
I think it's a bit. I don't like it. Maybe even a Terry McGillis because it's a lesser known character with Batman Beyond. But I'm just saying, there's like make him Green Lantern. Then it makes sense.
I want the best actors for the job. So if he test screens,
best actor. I think it's who fits the character the most. The character is pale. You know, like skin tone is pale. This big, yada, 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 yada. Character is Bruce Wayne.
But, like, Bruce Wayne's not his
I don't think it's like a Johnny, from the Fantastic Four where we can go back and forth. Like, I think when it comes to, because this is one of the big ones. Like, this isn't one of the ones where you can take that. It's like, you just don't do it. Like,
if you want to say it's because you're scared to lose money on something, I think that's fair, and you think people.
No, that's the truth. I'm talking about, I'm Hollywood right now. Not Alex. Fine. I don't care. Good actor's good actor.
That's fine. But the idea of they can't do it, like, you can't tell me that Michael B. Jordan wouldn't make a great Bruce Wayne if he put his heart to it. Michael B. Jordan could do anything. He'd be set
up for failure.
In what sense?
Like how people won't accept that. Like, it's just too much of a big deal for no reason. Like, I always tell you, like, why not make Black Panther Hispanic?
Well, again, T'Challa is a black man.
And Bruce Wayne is a white, Caucasian, rich man from Gotham. That's part of his story.
It never specifically says that.
I think
just
it
like
really
the
does.
Black?
It really does kind of inch toward that because of his wealth. Because of his standard in society, that plays a lot in his storyline.
I mean, I think you can play with that much more.
I think Barry Allen would be more of a character to do that, or Green Lantern. But when you have a character that was built around that, I think he's one of the ones that are very, very untouchable. Just like Peter Parker and him being Caucasian in a Brooklyn sense. Or Superman. Even Superman has a better argument. Like, well, he's from a different planet. Like, we could technically play with that, even though he was meant to be a superhuman in the bad standard. So I feel like there's certain characters you're like, we can't play with that because that's part of their character. And to change that is going to change the way we look at them and the way they approach the character.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airways crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airways. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
Just another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
How are
buddy?
you, sir? I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. We got that news coming out for Batman, so we'll
I can't
definitely
wait to
keep
find
our...
out.
Yeah, we'll find out as the time goes on who's actually playing the Cape Crusader. But moving on, Alex, it wasn't just that. We will have a lot of stuff coming out after this Sunday because it is the Super Bowl. And before we talk about the big game really fast, what big trailers do we get on Super Bowl Sunday?
We already announced that they're going to get Hobbs and Shaw. We're going to get Avengers. We're going to get another little snippet. We're probably going to get more Captain Marvel.
Do we get Star Wars?
No, I think Star Wars is waiting until April. It's right there. They're gonna wait. I think they're giving them as much room as they can to really be by themselves. I think Disney's fine. I'm trying to think what else big. I think I'm trying to answer more. It's like, is there a big release we're gonna get a snippet that we haven't seen yet? I don't think so. I think we've seen everything we're gonna see.
I mean, other than the Disney movie, other than one of the Disney.
I think
animations.
we'll get a Dumbo snippet.
Aladdin.
Well, we might get a look at Genie. Maybe that would be it.
Okay, I can see the Genie.
We might get a Genie look finally.
CBS though, so they may not blow their logo.
Yeah, that's Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you can't charge them anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's true.
So yeah, I think very Disney heavy, very Fox. You know, Fox are trying to bury the X-Men right now, so I don't think that's gonna get a lot of love.
Sure.
Shazam, probably get Shazam because I think that's getting early good buzz.
Yeah.
Like very early good buzz, so that's very good because like DC hasn't hit 2 in a row in a very long time.
Is there any monster movies else other than Godzilla coming out?
Nothing recent.
Any surprise? Do you think any surprise drops? Any surprise?
That's what I'm trying to
movies
think
drop?
about. If there's something that's like really close that we haven't seen that we should see. But the problem is they're either hiding these movies or we've seen snippets of these movies. Like Hobbs and Shaw would have been the one, but they're releasing Friday.
Very interesting. Do you think we get a Cloverfield type of thing where something drops online maybe?
No, I don't think. I don't know. Netflix. Here's the problem with Netflix. It worked out in the beginning. It turned out the movie was just really bad. So I think that's a problem. But I could see because the plan was good.
Yeah.
Execution was good.
Yeah.
It just didn't stick the landing because once you got there, like, damn, this movie is terrible. But damn, I was excited. That was my highlight. I'm like, I gotta go home and watch Cloverfield. I'll be back.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched it.
So I think if they find a better movie, that'd be great. I think it's worth another try. I don't know. They might not do it this year, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't think there's anything crazy. Maybe we'll get some Lion King footage actually.
Yeah.
That's beyond
Disney.
Like we'll get that. Like you know how in Beauty and the Beast they gave you the kitchen scene real quick. I think we might get one of the I can't wait to be king scenes with like all the animals dancing or something. That might be the big thing. I think Disney is really. Who else is there?
How messed up is that meme now going around of Simba and Nala? And it's like, hey, we're half brother and sister.
Oh yeah,
because
but
it's
we all
one
knew
thing.
that's how lions
I'm like,
work.
I
man.
hate the internet.
Seahorse males have babies.
Let me
guys.
ask you this, Alex, and I don't want to trap you in it, but why is it okay for Oscar Isaac to play Bruce Wayne but not a black man?
Lighter skin tone, you can fake it. Just like when Tony Montana was played by an Italian guy, I think it's a look thing. I think I'm not talking about culture. Like you find me an African American man that looks like Bruce Wayne, I'm all for it. It's harder. I get it. And I'm not going to lie. Hispanics we're pretty lucky that we can blend in some places. And
well, like, even tactically speaking, like, a darker skin complexion would make more sense for Batman because now you don't have a whole white.
Oh, no, I get it. But I'm talking about, if you looked at a comic book, Oscar Isaac is the same skin tone as Bruce Wayne. Okay. There are a lot of Hispanics that can play Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Italians. Because then at that point, you're like, well, Italians technically are they're a little darker for a Caucasian. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a look thing. It's not a race thing. It's a look thing. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, that's the way it works. Like, I need my Bruce Wayne to be this complexion.
I wonder, I guess where I just don't agree with you is where you're trying to make this, I'm with you with the business aspect, but I think stars outgrow race.
In this countries nowadays, I don't think, not anymore. No.
I think
now with these kind of characters and this toxic of a fandom, no.
I think in a world in which big enough stars like, for example, like a Beyonce can be in anything and it be successful. It doesn't matter the race. It doesn't matter the characters. That name alone is enough.
If Beyonce's playing Captain Marvel, then half the fandom is upset.
But it still makes the same amount of money it would have made before that. But like that, then you're totally disqualifying any X factor of how much a movie can make based off of star power.
But I've been saying it forever. I don't think stars sell movies anymore. I think studios sell more. I think directors are even up with stars.
Mission Impossible is a great example of
but look at Tom Cruise. Mummy didn't sell a lot. Jack Reacher didn't sell a lot.
They did sell their opening weekends. Whether they had sustainability of
successful. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's a whole separate argument we can have. Is I don't think star power is a thing anymore. I don't think star power is what sells movies.
The Rock's the perfect example. He has star power.
His biggest movie, The Rock. He's the one of the only movie stars. Like, no offense, Michael B. Jordan doesn't sell movies by himself. Oscar Isaac doesn't sell movies by himself. John Hamm does. Let me name a list.
I mean, Kevin Hart does.
The Rock.
Kevin Hart does.
Kevin Hart does, but not to the numbers that they used to do it as big celebrities like Brad Pitt used to do. Kevin Hart does good numbers. Inflation, I can give you.
But that's entertainment-wide because comedians don't make the same amount of money. Musicians don't make the same amount of money.
And well, look at Kevin Hart. Like, Kevin Hart's been on a hot streak, but he had, 3 cold movies with Ride Along and the prison one. And
they all made money.
No, they didn't. Those didn't make money. His recent ones have made very good money. And it's also been, Jumanji, Kevin Hart, The Rock, Jack Black, 3 together. Bryan Cranston, Kevin Hart in a somber movie made good money.
Okay, but my question, again, that's for example. I love Bryan Cranston, one of the best actors we have.
He don't sell by himself.
Kevin Hart sold that movie.
I think they both sold their share. I don't think either one sold. Did Kevin Hart sell more? But I don't. If that movie comes out with Kevin Hart and let's say random actor from TV, I don't think it does as good without Bryan Cranston. Definitely helps the cause. The Rock and Kevin Hart sell together. And The Rock is probably the only example left. And let's be honest, even his power, Skyscraper didn't sell as much as it should have. Baywatch as much as it should have. Is he still selling a lot? Yes. But I think it's hard to say nowadays it's not. No, there is no. Even Tom Cruise, beside Mission Impossible, which is an established franchise, he's not selling movies. He's not making the money we thought he was going to make or he used to make in the 90s. That's a very 90s thing. Bruce Willis used to sell and doesn't sell anything anymore.
I think it's all relative to what you're talking about. Like, if you're talking about whether somebody sells or not, it's also the budget of the movie. If you're talking about a movie that costs $400 million to make, only maybe one person and a studio. Star Wars makes the $1 billion, not necessarily the actors. But if you're talking about somebody like Kevin Hart, he's not making $500 million movies.
And I think you just sold my point. It's let's look at all these superhero movies that when they started. You didn't pick the biggest names. You picked guys that were either somewhat known and they built, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a star. Well, yeah, they made him one. Chris Evans wasn't a star
before.
Our stars are very different. We're not about stars that could sell movies. You weren't looking at Robert Downey Jr. as Tom Cruise in the 90s where, his name's on it, people are going to buy.
No, there's a difference between a star and an A-list celebrity. Those don't.
When I say star, a star can sell a movie by themselves, and there's maybe 3 of those nowadays that are stars and make money and sell movies, and The Rock is one of them.
Yeah, but then I guess that goes into the business itself, where Hollywood decided for 50 years that it was only going to hire 4 men and 4 women and decide those are stars opposed to today where there's 18 different services and 18 different ways in which we could see different actors and actresses take these roles. I don't think it's the day and age though of the celebrity is gone and that people don't sell movies.
I'm just but I don't think one person sells a movie anymore. It's impossible. Like that's just not it.
But here's the thing though, movies are events now. Like, that's the truth. You know, Sandra Bullock used to sell out every movie she ever made.
And Ocean's 8 did fine.
And she's in Netflix now, and that crushed records. So it's one of those things where...
Yeah, but we're also about logistics and watching at home and during Christmas.
No, it's what you're able to bring onto... What type of momentum and what type of exposure are you able to bring into that properties? It's what's more of what shows to be a big star. And that's... Yeah, maybe The Rock's the only person who can bring in a blockbuster... But if you're talking about people who move the needle, who bring in eyes,
there's a lot of
revenue,
in my opinion, there's a lot of people in that case. That's why, going back to our original point, it's like Michael B. Jordan, he'll move the needle. Of course he would. So would 12 other people that look more the part, is what I'm saying.
So then why not give it to the guy who's going to move the needle on top of the fact that
because there's 12 other guys that can move the needle and look the part to make everyone happy.
No, making who happy?
I'm talking about the toxic community. So if Oscar Isaac gets it.
Well, no, why are you now placating to the toxic community?
Because let's be honest. One, we're a podcast. Two, they're the majority
no, they're not.
of the DC hate and love.
There's a reason why they call them silent majorities and loud majorities.
Silent majorities. They're still out there, and we have to. To ignore them is to ignore a big population. So, I'm not playing to them. I'm saying if I'm a studio, which these studios play it up like that, how are we going to make everyone the most happy to an extent? We need to find someone with a decent name that fits the oracle of Bruce Wayne and that we like 1, 2, and 3.
So what essentially we found out is it was okay what happened to the Ghostbusters franchise.
What?
That we're gonna go completely away from the women stuff because the toxic community.
They said, you know what? But here's my biggest thing. I think that movie was more doomed for the fact that you left it in the same movie. I think that movie's a directed movie. Like, yeah, I think that the biggest issue is the reason you and me, smarter people, can't defend that movie is because it's a bad movie. Because it was set up for failure when it's like we're in the universe, we're not in the universe. We're bringing back the Ghostbusters, we're not. Had they had one scene where the original Ghostbusters come and says, okay, it's your job now. That movie is looked at completely different. That's my argument with that movie. And we could do a whole breakdown show of movies that were doomed from the beginning. Because, again, you do that one scene where it's the original Ghostbusters leaving saying, it's up to you guys now. That movie gets a sequel. That movie gets good reviews. That movie is a successful movie because us can defend it then. We can't defend the movie because it's not a good movie. It was directed badly. It was a waste of 4 great actresses.
But that movie was getting hate and negative reviews before anybody saw it.
And the problem is, how are we? And then, yes, that happens. That's the negative. And I agree with you. You can ignore that to an extent when it's good. Like Black Panther hate. It's easy to ignore because it's a great movie.
So my point is, if you're already denying yourself
I'm just saying, why set yourself? But like Ghostbusters, you set yourself up for that.
But they set themselves up. This is the same community that got upset by Heath Ledger as the Joker, and he won an Academy Award.
And he had something to back it up, and now you can't talk about it. I guess you're right. Yes, I can't argue it yet. I'm just saying why. I just don't like it. It's like if you made Miles Morales different. Like, why are we changing these characters?
It's not about changing this. When did these arbitrary rules come out?
It's not an arbitrary rule. It's just Bruce Wayne's character was a wealthy white male in a Gotham City that was torn like a Chicago. But to change him from white to black changes so much of the character.
Yeah, Alex, that's okay. That's the liberty of making the fact that I've seen the same Bruce Wayne story.
It feels unnecessary.
I've seen the same Batman story 7 times. I've read the same Batman story 150 times. I've watched the same animated series for years. The point is, you're talking about placating to a fan base that's going to complain regardless, so no matter who you cast, and then the fact that you're going to deny yourself the possibility of the best performance because it might make some people uncomfortable that the skin tone, the melatonin may be a little off. And then the fact of, well, I'm afraid I'll change the story a little bit. Well,
no, a lot of it. No, his origin changes.
Good. No, his parents still die. He's still a billionaire. He still lives in Gotham.
So he's got it so easy, even wealthy black men in this country have it way harder than a lot of other wealthy men.
Awesome. Now with the right minds, maybe with Matt Reeves, you can play onto the fact of a black rich man in.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying it's just I guess it comes out to like a woman when it comes to like a woman-based movie. Do I think it should have a woman director? Yes.
For
Do
perspective,
I think
sure.
we should look at other people? Yes, same as this. Do I think we should look at everyone? Yes. Do I think they do look at everyone? Yes. Do I think at the end of the day that's the best decision to go with? No, I think there are other actors that can do as good, if not better, of a job. I think it's worth the conversation. I think it's just so much better off to go with someone that fits the role better. You can look all you want. You can do all you want. I'm just saying there's not like we're at a shortage of actors. There's a bunch of good young and upcoming actors.
I agree. There's also been a amount of actors and roles for these same people.
Like, I know you like Michael B. Jordan. I love it for the discussion. I think there's other people.
Specifically to Bruce Wayne, I don't think he'd be a good Bruce Wayne. But if a magical black man came up as the perfect Bruce
that's
Wayne,
what I'm saying. Like,
him.
you're saying, see, that's where my argument came in. It's like, you're name me an actor that would fit. If they were doing old Bruce Wayne, if you said Idris Elba, that works. They're not doing old Bruce Wayne. They're doing young Bruce Wayne. Find me a young actor like that works. You haven't.
Yeah, no. There's the
then at that point, we're going to be looking for one.
But that's the point, though. The conversation is, that's the whole renaissance of this whole thing about the Batman thing is, today's episode is the opportunity to talk about casting that you wish would happen, that could happen, that is different. Opposed to tomorrow, we know the reports we're going to see. We're going to see pasty white skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, Army Hammer's going to
Bruce Wayne. We're going to see Bruce Wayne. That's how Bruce Wayne looks. He has blue eyes.
I mean, no, he doesn't, because Michael Keaton had curly hair, because Adam West looks like Bruce Wayne, because Christian Bale.
I'm fine if we change hair color and eyes then. Like,
but that's very simple. But like, here, the point is, we know what we're gonna get. We know, and it'll be radical, and it'll be crazy. If Oscar Isaac plays Batman.
So if we get an Army Hammer, you're gonna be upset.
Because that's so he's a basic bitch, yeah. It's the basic.
So like
bitch.
what actor would make you happy to hear?
I would love Oscar Isaac.
Okay, besides Oscar Isaac.
I don't know the list. I don't know
like Scott Eastwood. If you found Scott Eastwood, is it? You wouldn't like it?
I'm in again.
Taylor Edgerton.
No, here's the difference. Unlike people who would go out there and be like, oh, because Heath Ledger, I don't want Heath Ledger to play the Joker, I'm gonna be upset. Look, if they got Baby Eastwood to play that role, great. But, like, then I don't want to ever hear anybody bitch about things about, like, Ronda Rousey or anything. Like, Scott Eastwood is a son of royalty in Hollywood, and he's a white dude who has basic acting skills, and now he's going to be getting the role.
I mean, he is very pretty person.
Because he's, good-looking and white, he gets to play Batman, opposed to maybe a 30-year-old black man who would be Oscar level.
I'm just saying,
but the point is, though, is like, you're
had
denying
you
that
said
role.
Mahershala Ali, I would have been on board with you. It's the fact that I think that we're going to end it here. I think because you said Michael B. Jordan, it was so like, that doesn't make any sense. Had you said Mahershala Ali, I'd be like, I could see it.
The only reason I didn't say Mahershala Ali is because right now in True Detective, he has a very strict Southern yes ma'am no man type of dialogue. He's not like that in those movies.
Moonlight, Mahershala Ali.
But like the point is, though, it's like that's the point. What if you found the 30-year-old Mahershala Ali who's gonna play the next?
I'm sure they'd risk.
20
I'm
years.
just saying, like, what if it is Michael Fassbender? Holy shit, that's like great.
I'm not exactly. But the point is, the fact that you and I can sit here and tell you exactly how the reports are going to come out in Variety.
But Mike, it's Hollywood. Like, I feel like you're so shot. Like, this is Hollywood. Like, Scott Eastwood's successful because, one, he has gotten better. I'm not going to disrespect the actors because he's gotten better.
Yeah.
Is he worth the franchise? Absolutely not. Is he good at what he's doing right now as secondary roles? Absolutely. You told me he was playing maybe, like, Batman's cop friend? Sure.
Look, and again, that's the point. Like, I'm not trying to mean whoever gets the role. What I'm saying, though, is for the same industry that's going to fight tooth and nail to tell me why certain things need to be this way, why I need to use certain words, why I need to have certain conversations, why certain people are good in politics. But then you're going to sit here and tell me these are the same people then who can't accept the idea of a darker skinned Batman. We have big issues in this hypocrisy. And again,
I mean, dude, maybe we should.
Hollywood.
I mean, at this point, like, I feel like that's like one of the lower tier arguments compared to maybe we get more female directors. Maybe we get like Hispanics. We just got our win, so I can't complain too much.
Look, it'll be radical.
And 2 Hispanic female actors, Mexican actresses.
It'll be radical if Oscar Isaac becomes Batman.
Oh, that'd be a great win for us again. Like
triple
win for the Browns.
That's radical.
But I get your argument. I'm just in the comic book sense. I'm like, I don't want my characters to change.
Well, yeah, and like,
because there's plenty of characters. Because Miles Morales proved you can have a great character and not change their history.
And we'll go ahead and wrap up Alex's quick thoughts. That we got back into Batman. We were talking about the Superbad, but like really fast about the Batman thing too. Is I agree with you. In a perfect universe, though, in which there were movies coming out every year when we don't need to switch to races and we don't need to make it a woman's role only because that movie or that series was coming out anyway.
Yeah.
Like if we lived in a world where we were both having Miles Morales and Peter Parker, we wouldn't have to talk about making a black Peter Parker in life. But like we don't have it in that world right now.
We have one Batman.
We have
have never gotten a Bat family.
Exactly. So it's like until then we have to make our own strides. But I agree with you. If we're talking
I think in
business,
this case you're right because Batman hasn't had a Bat family show up, so it's hard to like I think it'd be easier to accept an African American Dick Grayson because we already have Batman. But right now we haven't established Batman, and I think that helps both arguments. Helps your argument. Helps mine saying, "Well, let's establish Batman."
I mean,
and then we can get creative.
That's Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson's a great.
Then you tell me Michael B. Jordan's Dick Grayson.
Call,
I'm like, okay, Oscar Isaac and Michael B. Jordan.
Or what's the kid's name from who's going to be in Detective Pikachu? Something like that. Like a young black actor who has all the potential in the world. That's what I want to see.
But I think let's establish Batman. Like let's just get Batman.
Hey,
guys.
how about a Hispanic Oscar Isaac and a black Robin?
That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty dope.
People would be pissed.
Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airways crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at Mercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
Just another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
How
buddy?
you, sir? I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on.
Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Going back to the Super Bowl, Alex, really fast. So let's go into some fun stuff before we head on out. Who do you have winning the game?
Rams.
Okay, so you have the Rams winning. That's very interesting. What's your score?
35-31.
I have 31-27.
They're gonna stop Tom Brady at the last. They're gonna just stop Tom Brady. No field goal range, none. Like they're gonna stop Tom Brady.
Who has? So these are some of the prop bets now, and you can actually listen to the last sports from the couch. I answer some of this. Who scores the first touchdown?
Todd Gurley.
Okay, so the Rams score the first touchdown.
Rams score first.
Is the first touchdown a rushing touchdown or a passing touchdown?
Rushing, good drive.
Does the game go into overtime?
No.
Is it heads or tails to start the game?
Heads.
What's the color of the Gatorade that's thrown on Bill Belichick?
No, Bill Gates not winning, asshole. Blood.
What's
orange.
Orange. Okay.
Yeah, orange.
Let me think. How is the national anthem over 110 seconds?
No, yeah, hell yeah, it's good. Who's singing it?
You guys listen to the sports on the front of the couch. I forgot who it was, but it's a soul singer. One of the legends. I'm totally forgetting.
It's going at least 180.
It's definitely going over 110 seconds. First commercial into the Super Bowl officially when it begins when Jim Nance and Tony Romo are like, and here are the first commercials of Super Bowl 53.
Bud Light.
Is it beer, car, or
Bud Light?
Okay.
Dilly.
Okay, let's think one last one. one of the last ones that I saw on the
Something
pop
with
list.
halftime. Maroon 5. Does Maroon 5? I'll give you one. Does Maroon 5 do the SpongeBob song?
No.
You
What
don't
are the
think
odds
so?
on that? Is that are
That's
people
a bet
taking
because
odds?
Maroon
Is that
5's
people
hyping
taking
it
that?
up.
Okay.
Are you gonna watch halftime heat? You
Well,
have
talk
the
about that.
background.
So the Royal Rumble happened, and we don't really talk about that because we'll talk about WrestleMania as we moved on. But if you guys want to, the 2019 Royal Rumble women's winner was actually guest on the Mercado Airways network. You guys can check it out on the network itself. But Becky Lynch wins the women's Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins wins the men's Royal Rumble. What did you and halftime heat? As we find out about NXT Takeover Phoenix, great show. I mean, you and I always know that Takeover is going to be amazing.
Yeah, they're always on point.
So, what did you think? We're finding out halftime heat is coming back. Are you going to watch that instead of
I'll have it on the phone in the background. I think I'll be in St. Louis actually driving back. I think it's funny that they did that. And at first they had their commercial with the Maroon 5. Like, who watches Maroon 5? Then they took it down they took it down off the network. So if it's on the network, you get it still. Yeah. And if it's on TV, they took it down. Which is hilarious.
It was great for that moment, though.
No, it was great. It was good. It's cheap pop. And, I love Maroon 5, so I'm pretty good with the half. Like, it was probably the wrong year to do it, Like, there's been worse years where I believe you, and I'm like, Maroon 5's pretty big, dude. Like, The Voice is a big show.
Yeah.
They just got and they might do SpongeBob song. I think they're doing it, dude. I'm gonna bet they're doing it.
All right. So last one, does the game go into overtime?
You asked me that one already. No, it doesn't.
Did I ask you?
Yeah, no. I think it's gonna go to the last minute. I think they stop him. I don't think it's like St. Louis runs out the ball. I think it's more Tom Brady's going for his last drive. Like it's gonna be 31-28. St. Louis scores. They stop Tom Brady.
Los Angeles.
Why do I keep saying St. Louis?
Because they were St. Louis,
and I'm going to be in St. Louis this weekend too.
St. Louis this weekend. Do you remember? Do you remember the St. Louis, the actual St. Louis Rams versus?
Oh yeah,
dude,
that was a big St. Louis Rams. Yeah, that's where Little Hawk Jr. went. Little Laurinaitis, and then I'm a big Rams fan. We've all been, we're like, we've liked the Rams. They were
Kurt
local
Warner,
enough.
Torrey Holtz.
I'm a big
Isaac
Rams
Cruz,
fan. So when they moved back to LA, I like them. I love LA. Like they were one of my favorite teams the last 2 years.
Since they moved to LA, I've actually liked the Chargers more. I like the Chargers.
Yeah, your Chargers.
But I like because I don't have to.
How many times you got to break your heart, Mike?
Too many times, dude. Too many.
Just like your Saints. The Saints and Chargers just are. Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees are just never gonna close anymore.
It sucks.
Drew Brees lucky he did the one time.
And shout out to Seth Rollins who won the Royal Rumble wearing Bears colors. So cool stuff. All right, Alex. So one last time, your Super Bowl bet officially.
35-31. LA Rams over New England Patriots.
Todd Gurley, the MVP.
Todd Gurley gets the first touchdown. It would be heads.
And who
wins
the MVP?
MVP, Jared Goff.
So
Jared Goff wins MVP.
So Jared Goff is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Yes. Very cool. And you can get all my official predictions at the end of this week on Sports from the Couch. We will be breaking it down on Thursday and on Saturday. And Alex, before we close up shop, I am playing Resident Evil 2 on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. You want to know something I said on what I was streaming? I said this to all the people who are watching. So when I first got introduced into the series, my first one was Resident Evil 4. We went to Best Buy. I bought it. I was so excited to buy my first Resident Evil game. Flipped through it, played it 100 different times. So then obviously at that point on, I played Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, played Resident Evil Remake. But the two games that I never got my hands on were Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. So to me, those two games are like that legendary status of, man, as a child, I just never played them. And I always remember everybody always telling me it's super hard. And, I'm a big Leon. I'm a Leon guy. I'm not a Chris guy. So I never got to play him with his the Raccoon City Police Department gear and everything like that. So you guys can actually watch me play right now. I have no idea what I'm doing in this game because I've never played it. I am getting my ass kicked. I am screaming. I am getting scared.
Yeah, that's too scared. I don't like that game.
Let me ask you, Alex, is there any game? So Resident Evil 2 has always been one of those holy grail games that I never thought I was going to get to play. And now I'm playing it, and it's going to be one of the best games of 2019. Is there any type of game or movie or TV show that you knew a lot of what's in this universe, and you've always just kind of like let's say if you were a big Lord of the Rings fan, but you never read The Hobbit, or vice versa, you were the Hobbit fan, is there anything like that for you that you always just kind of was on that legendary status as a kid because it had kid memories, and then as an adult you were able to actually indulge and do and see and experience and do it. Like a lot of people, it's going to a concert or a wrestling event for the first time.
I've seen Blink 182.
It's a good one.
And I'd probably say watching like The Wire, watching HBO.
Sure.
Because HBO was such an adult thing as a kid.
Okay.
Like I did like, obviously when Sopranos and The Wire and Oz were at their prime, like that was just that scary show you weren't allowed to watch.
Yeah.
It was too adult. Like even more adult than like the adult stuff. Like the Sons of Anarchy is like I got to watch when I was like 15.
Yeah, right,
Because it's still FX. Like you get away with it. Like you might see a side boob. And then you get old enough to get HBO and watch it. And you go back, you're like, I remember like, this was such a big part of pop culture with The Sopranos and the pictures, and you know who Tony Soprano is without watching it. So I'd say Sopranos, like that was a big one.
Really
The Wire, and to an extent, like Oz was that prison rape show, and you find out no, it's actually a really good show. And like, yeah, they joke about the actual hard stuff, but like 90% of the show is just really good writing about the prison system. So it's fun to like look at the legend and be like, damn, Sopranos is that show. Even though it slows down here, or now I get the gabagoo and your guma.
But it's good. Like I that's what I'm seeing through play Resident Evil 2 is like being able to experience it as an adult.
Put a memory to the actual memory,
that
like
you
not
have
just
of it,
a
yeah.
visual memory,
Yeah.
but like I played it. Now I know it is terrifying.
and, like,
hey, that is a good thing.
And like everything that I always pictured in my head is actually coming up. So like when you finally get to see that great show, like can you imagine the people who get to see Game of Thrones who haven't necessarily lived through the hype, but like they've always.
But they know. I know who Khaleesi is. I know who Jason Momoa was.
Yeah.
I've seen.
That's pretty cool.
I've
Jon
seen
Snow.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like I know the characters. Like I know dragons show up, but then they get to see it and like
Oh my God.
and, like the way it makes sense. Yeah, 2 months.
Oh
2
my
months.
God, dude.
Right
Oh
when
my
True
God.
Detective ends, we're getting Game of Thrones.
So actually, and we have been asked.
And
this,
Walking Dead's coming back.
We are waiting for the entire run of HBO's True Detective season 3 to happen, and then we will break down the entire season. And we obviously leading up to Game of Thrones. It is official. We will do a Game of Thrones special the week leading into the first episode of the final season. Alex and I will go completely balls deep in Westworld.
And the thing with True Detective was Westworld. No,
I said
thanks.
Westworld,
No
yeah.
Roblox.
No, Westworld.
The thing with True Detective, we wanted to wait to the end because it's such a show that like it gives you so little, but you need so little. Like it's not like there's something crazy that happened. That's more just the way they shot that scene is crazy. Not necessarily with the info. Like we're not necessarily getting crazy info. Like even though we are, like it's not like that every week. It's like episode 3. Was very slow, but it was a good slow. It's deliberately paced is the proper term for TV when it's like when it does good. As before, we get a little more info. So I think it's gonna be easier for us to talk at the end about just wow, that was crazy, like kind of like the night of.
Yeah,
you can't talk about episode to episode. You want to talk about the whole
HBO.
show.
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed, great show.
So, all right, good brother. Well, we've talked it up. It is Super Bowl week, so you will be in St. Louis. So enjoy, be safe down there, and enjoy the game.
Super Bowl. I'm upset.
Yeah, that's.
I love my kids though.
We will all be enjoying the big game. Let us know who do you guys think will be cast as the next Dark
Bears.
Knight. And who do you guys got in the Super Bowl? What did you guys think about the halftime show? Let us know your thoughts of the Hobbs and Shaw trailer after it drops. And, of course, watch me scream as we play Resident Evil 2 on Twitch here on the Mercado Airwaves Network. Also, be part of the conversation Alex and I had about casting and the business of Hollywood. Let us know your perspective, not just personally what you guys think and socially, but as a business, how do you guys see it? Where do you guys fall in the line? And then maybe we can have a nice political, social conversation. I might be asking a little bit too much on Twitter, but I trust our fans, Alex. But I think that's it. Good brother, you know, as soon as we stop recording, there'll be a lot of news, but you and I will be here next week to talk all about it. Until then, any final thoughts leading into Super Bowl 53? Yeah. Well, there it is. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time here on The Good Brothers. For the good brother himself, Alex Mercado, I'm Mike Mercado. Enjoy the game. Enjoy all the Batman rumors. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airways crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airways crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
Another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on.
Joining us today is director and writer David Farrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.